Ding, 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 dings. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another live edition of Kiwanis Connects, coming to you from all over the United States. That's right. I am in Virginia Beach. Of course, we know Doc Val is out in California, and joining us from the great state of Pennsylvania and Erie with no snow in the background, surprisingly. Ms. Kathy Zemansky joins us. Thank you for watching us today. We are, 2 weeks away, I think, from KI out in Pittsburgh. I'm so excited because tonight, although being a Yankee fan, we are going to be taking in the Mets-Pirates game out there as part of our fun. So I know Doc Val will be joining us with Capital District. We got some tickets to do that. Kathy will be running around doing her thing out there, which we'll learn a lot about today. And if you didn't join her town hall little thingamajiggy this past week, you missed an awful lot. I did jump on for a few minutes in between my meetings. So I don't know if you saw me pop in there or not, but I was there. But more importantly, we want to thank you all for joining us today. You know what? What is a week without Kiwanis Connects? Doc Val, how are you today?
Aloha. Unfortunately, I've got a soapbox, Aaron.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Can I join you on a different one after you're done?
Probably. Absolutely.
Go ahead. Take it away.
I've been traveling a lot lately, and unlike most times, I've been traveling for fun and family. And so I actually literally drove 11 and a half hours to watch my cousin through her retirement process, and in one direction, and drove 13 hours back. So I just got to tell you, wow, it was amazing. But I actually drove through Southern California, and my soapbox is all about please don't avoid Los Angeles. Don't avoid Southern California because you see stuff on TV. What you're seeing on TV is absolutely sensationalized. We're talking 5 square blocks, and there's actually a Kiwanis Club. There's 2 Kiwanis Clubs that border that area and several key clubs that service that area. And so please come be a part of what's going on in Southern California. Even if you have a political view about what's going on and why it's going on, know that what you're seeing on TV is not indicative of the full Los Angeles experience. So that was my soapbox. I'm off it. I'm fine.
Well, I was gonna ask. I mean, is this a case where it's just a rotten few apples in the bushel that are causing this to be as bigger than it is?
Yeah, it absolutely is, and I'll share my theory from all the people that I've been talking to, and I know several reporters that have been in the reporting rooms and who are taking live video. This actually reminds me of Antifa. Have you guys seen Antifa in the past 4 years? No. And part of that was because Antifa was an opportunistic group that was funded so that they could cause problems. And most of the people that you see are bad actors that aren't from the area. They're getting bussed in. They're being brought in by people who want to see chaos. And it's unfortunate because the peaceful people that live there, I had a friend, she lives right around the block, post, I'm safe in LA, I'm walking my dog, and the only violation that I've seen is someone ran a stoplight on their way to work. So call me political, but no.
No, I think that's great. Well, you're there. You're boots on the ground, and you're giving us the bird's eye view that we're not going to see on national programming. And
I want to clarify. I am not physically there. I live in California.
Right.
I live 6 hours, not miles, 6 hours away. When you look at California and you were to take California and pop it on the East Coast, we would be, I think, from Maine all the way over past Ohio, right? I think if we were looking at how we lay out, it's a really darn big state.
Yeah.
And we have over 20,000 key clubbers in our California, Nevada, Hawaii district. Most of the key clubbers are actually located in Southern California.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully everybody will be smart and heed the words that you shared, and that is, of course, don't be shy. It's just a few rotten apples out there making for a bigger bunch of what's. Anyway, so that's good to hear.
Bring your money. Bring your money. Bring your people.
I love it.
Speaking on behalf of Las Vegas, though, you all can keep the Oakland Athletics. I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, Just a few reminders. Listen, nobody, and John can back me up on this. When I was there before I moved, nobody wanted the athletics there. Everybody was hoping for an expansion team like we got with the hockey team. Nobody wants the athletics there. The only time they're going to draw is when other teams come in, like the Yankees and Angels and Dodgers. Nobody cares about the athletics. You get 1,500 people at home games. Right, John? We're going to start calling him Artie Johnson, for those of you who remember the TV show Laugh-In. Couple of things while everybody's watching.
Very interesting.
Very interesting, right? You got to come through the plant. Couple of things. Today's agenda, of course, we're going to have Kathy sharing some time with us today. Don't forget, we do have Melissa Atwell's mental health moment with us. We're also going to have our Kiwanis Wow moments. And even though today is Friday the 13th, and I tried to find Friday the 13th themed bad dad jokes, they were all coming across as Halloween jokes. So I said, no. But this weekend, so I'm going to give it an early shout out. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and all the mothers that are fathers too. Let's face it, there are people out there pulling double duty. So I do have a stream of Father's Day bad dad jokes ready for later on today. I know Andy's jumping up and down with joy as best as he can right now. Kathy, are you armed with a couple of bad dad jokes as we ask our guests?
You know I am.
All right. I love it. Okay. With that, I'm going to get on my soapbox just a little bit. So if it's okay with you guys. This past week on what, I don't want to mention what day because I don't want to make it obvious what day and who I'm referring to. But twice in the same day, I had the same type of moral message shared with me. And that is roughly the following, and I'm paraphrasing. Certain organizations frown on people doing business with each other because it is looked upon as bad taste that somebody should not make money off of somebody else within same said organization. So I find that rather appalling because I find it very difficult. As an example, in my 40 years of being involved in the K family on all levels, I find it hard to believe that not one Kiwanian did any kind of business of any kind with another Kiwanian. I don't care if it's something as simple as getting printing done or pest control in their house or getting their car fixed. I don't care. But I'd find it hard because I know I've transacted business with people within the Kiwanis family. I'm the first to refer Kiwanians when somebody needs something when I'm on Facebook.
Absolutely.
So I heard that about a year ago when I first moved out to Virginia Beach. And then it was echoed again to me the other day by the higher ups within the K family organization with which I now am a member of, big picture wise. Okay. I'm trying to say this politically correct. But you know what? I'm from Jersey. Kiwanis Connects has done a tremendous job of trying to provide a tool to each and every one of you out there, and that is called our customized commercials, right? And those commercials are specifically designed as a tool for recruiting, education, whatever. But just as important, they also provide a financial fundraising opportunity for the Rose Flow Club, and for Val's sake and my sake, keeps this show on the air. So in my vain attempt of volunteering to help the Capital District at their decon to be a presenter about social media and the benefits of things like Kiwanis Connects helping our clubs, I was told that that is frowned upon, that I should want to make money off of Kiwanis and I should not have the opportunity to promote Kiwanis Connects to make a few dollars for the show. Not for me, not for Val, not even for John. It goes to the time for everything he does for us. I was told that was frowned upon, which is why my own Capital District refused and chose not to do a commercial. Now, that's not counting Kimberly Temple, my lieutenant governor. She was gracious enough to do a commercial to promote our division for membership. Great, thank you. But I find it, you can't tell me that our governor hasn't had a Kiwanian plant their butts in his dentist chair at some point.
Okay, your Kiwanis soapbox is going really, really long here.
I'm sorry.
And I think you are so right.
Okay, and I had that happen with
We've
my
got Kathy, and we're taking away from work. And one of the things I want to share with you, Aaron, is you are welcome to come back to Calneva anytime full time, because most of our divisions put together directories of what people do and they hand them out. And I know for me, I'm going to go to a Kiwanian and ask them for support and help before I go to someone else, because I know if you're a Kiwanian, you've got like values, and that's where I want to spend my money. So come on back, honey.
All right, with that, Kathy Zemansky joins us. Kathy Zemansky joins us from the great state of Pennsylvania, up in Erie, where I spent 2 years of my college days. And what a great video you put together. I saw that, you sent it to me yesterday. It's got my alma mater all over your video, my Penn State Lion Country. I appreciate State College's banner back there. I pilfered their bell when I was in Kiwanis in Homedale, so we had a little interclub. You've been in Kiwanis a long time, right?
Yes, I've been in Kiwanis 32 years. So 31. I apologize. 31.
David.
Pardon?
Almost as long as you've been married to David.
Almost been married to David for 30 years. I'm the one that recruited him to join Kiwanis. So, yes, sir. Yes.
And I've known you my whole Kiwanis career, which is amazing.
I think many years ago, there was this Facebook campaign where if you say you're going to send something to somebody, I'll send something to you. I believe I have these red oven mittens that were sent from you to me. And I don't even remember what I sent you, but I think that's how long ago this was. And just so you know, those red oven mitts I use a lot. Do you remember that?
I do. Oh my goodness. I know. So, Aaron, we've gone from soapboxes to red oven mitts. I apologize.
No,
that's what Kiwanis family is all about. As we introduce Kathy Zemansky, you get to be our first vice presidential candidate on our air. And we can actually say that because we've made the offer to other candidates and they've made choices on when they're going to be on the show. And so you're kicking off our ability to talk about this on a higher political level. And I want to loop back to that of we're all so interconnected. And so when the voice has something to voice, this is the opportunity for people to hear us. And I think that you, as a past trustee and future president of our international organization, have that ability to carry those things forward and look at these kinds of issues. And so, Aaron, I'm going to let you do most of the questioning because I know you've got a long list. So
not really, not a long list, but I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pepper that conversation because John has Kathy's introductory video all queued up to go. So I think we take a break. Let's run that during our commercial break. And then when we come back from that, as people will begin hearing what Kathy's platform is, her ideals, and what she wants to do, if and when elected, that might be the place to go. So those who are not familiar with Kathy will have an opportunity to watch the video. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. Got Doc Val, you got Kathy, myself, John in Vegas, and all of you out there watching. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Kiwanis International is a global community of clubs, members, and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children, one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year.
For more information, contact Herman Platsky at KiwanisClubOf29Palms.com.
I've always believed that growth starts with care, whether it's a garden, a community, or a family. Gardening and quilting, they're my ways of creating something lasting. Each plant, Each stitch tells a story of patience and love. Quilting reminds me of Kiwanis, piecing together different parts to make something stronger, something beautiful. I'm inspired by young people every single day. Their energy, it pushes me to learn and lead.
Kathy's the kind of leader who listens and lifts everyone up.
Serving as Secretary for Community Shelter Services, it has shown me the power of small acts. A meal, a home, a conversation. These things change lives.
Kathy doesn't just talk about helping. She shows up day after day, week after week, month after month, and she makes it happen. Together, Kathy and I have been providing hope in one of America's poorest communities in America. Just months after learning that a little boy passed away of malnutrition right here on our corner. Together, we had the Kiwanis Caring Kitchen up and running, serving the hungry within just a few months.
I know how important it is to have a home and strong roots. This house, my parents, they taught me what community means. It's about showing up for each other, no matter what.
Kathy was a blessing as a child. She was always helpful, and she's always been there for anybody and would give you the shirt off her back. And she always has been that way to us. She's been wonderful. Couldn't be without her and her husband. We love her completely, and she's the greatest.
I'm running for Kiwanis International Vice President to build stronger communities worldwide and to empower our service leadership programs.
Vote Kathy for Kiwanis Vice President.
You won't find a better Kiwanis Vice President than my mom.
Welcome back. As a Doxy lover, I have to make sure that my wife sees that because we love Doxies, and my wife, she'll love that. Welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Kathy Zemansky joins us. She is running for Kiwanis International Vice President in lowly 2 weeks. It's KI convention when all this will go down. So, in our circles of doing this show together for a couple of years now, I don't think there's hardly anybody out there that's watching that doesn't know who Kathy Zemansky is. So the good news is I can do away with a lot of the behind the scenes, like how'd you get into KI and all that stuff. But I want to tweak that first question and ask what probably is the obvious one. Kathy, what was your aha moment for you when you decided that you wanted to run and become KI Vice President?
Sure. So first of all, just a little bit of history. When you're trustee, many people are coming to you. Oh, are you going to run for Kiwanis International Vice President? Oh, you have to run. You have to run. Everybody's saying that. And I just laughed it off and said, no, I have to do my 3 years as trustee. That's not even on my radar. And I have a business to run. I have to get my business in order before I were to do this. And again, I have to focus on my clubs that I'm counseling. So I left the board for a couple of years, and I just kept watching and realizing I'm getting older. My business is now able to, I hate it, but it's able to run without me. And it was like one of those, as you said, an aha moment. I think it's time. I'm watching many things going on, and it is time for me to bring the energy. It's time for me to bring a vision. It's time for me to step up and take care of our service leadership programs. So I think that was the aha moment when I realized my office can run without me.
Begrudgingly, right? Begrudgingly.
Yes.
I have to share this. Last year when Eileen and I moved to Virginia Beach, lowly month and a half, 2 months later, we jumped into the fray and we went to Portsmouth, which was the decon location for the Capital District. And the craziest thing, we thought we thought we would not see anybody. We went in there open-eyed thinking this would be opportunity to meet a ton of people in this whole new area. And lo and behold, in walks Kathy. And my jaw dropped because here I am in a new place for 2 months and I see somebody I actually know and somebody I actually know that I like a lot too. I mean, a lot of times you see people you don't like, but I like and love Kathy. We had such a blast. And what people may not realize, if you've never had an opportunity to meet Kathy in person, you saw it on the video, how she connects with people and in the projects. But Kathy, you're that way away from Kiwanis. Yeah, we were at a Kiwanis convention, but we were outside. We were laughing, joking about life, knowing Steve Nagel and all of these things that I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring the show down by bringing up Steve Nagel. But that's what I want people to understand is that you're as real a person away from, like off stage from the KI family as people see you on those videos, and Steve probably saw you in the town hall. Talk about why that transition of being real in both positions is easy for you.
I think, first of all, it was how I was raised. As you saw, my mom and my dad's also, I'm very fortunate they're both still alive. It's how I was raised. I was raised in a very small community. And when you're raised in a small community, and I now live in a small community, life is a little different. You learn how to continuously give back. You learn to say hello. You learn to talk to those people, that may not have had anybody talk to them throughout their life. So throughout my life, I've always made a point, because you don't know how lonely somebody is. You don't know, just a simple smile or a hello, how are you doing? You don't know the impact that can make. And I get that a lot because that's how I was brought up. I don't know any difference.
Every international convention that I've attended, long before that, well, we connected almost immediately, but I've seen you when you walk the halls, even when you're in pain, and you take the time, you put the extra energy into to go into a session, because you know that people are going to want to talk with you. You know that people are going to want to interact with you. So it fits so well into Erin's experience of seeing you and going, wow, this person is so interconnected. And Armando Velasquez said, thank you for being here. And he put a question across the bottom, because there's some concern and there's discussions about some of these new programs that are coming about that are destroying some of those connections. So he wanted to know, what are your thoughts about the new pilot program, Kiwanis Voices? Are there any concerns that you have? Do you feel it may hurt our work with the collegiate branch that is Circle K? Because some people, I think, are a little concerned about what this new program means. So hopefully, I said that the right way.
What is the program of Kiwanis Voices?
So not being on the board, I'm not being evasive because I'm not on the board. I only know a lot of hearsay, and I hope that makes sense to everybody. From my understanding, Erin, this is a new program that incoming Michael has developed with a team that is going to be for Kiwanians from ages 18 through 26. A key market for Kiwanis, if you think about it, as we're growing Kiwanis and we want to hear everybody's voices. I mean, the three of us, okay, yes, we know, but when we're hearing from younger people, we're now seeing maybe it would be more practical to do this. Maybe we need to bring AI more into the picture. So it is developed for 18 to 26-year-olds. Their dues are going to be $40. So for the first 2 years, this club's dues are $40, and then this money is returned to them. Districts will get $8 of these dues. Those are the facts that I know. And I also know that your incoming governors, on being distinguished, the criteria as of last week at least was they have to open three of these clubs in order for them to be distinguished. Those are the facts that I know. Now, my opinion is I feel like it is not planned out enough. It sounds on paper like a great initiative. This is very difficult for me to say. Had I been on the board, I would have asked to table this because I don't feel like there's enough information. I don't know what the capital district's dues are. I don't know what your dues are, Val. I know mine are definitely more than $8. Are we willing to do the $8? I don't know. That's up to the board. How does that affect your finances? I don't know. We do need younger members. Is this competing with Circle K? Yes, it is. But was it developed to compete with Circle K? That answer, I don't know.
So is this designed to those who graduate from high school who don't go to college, therefore are not quote unquote eligible for Circle K, but yet they don't want to pay the bigger dollars in Kiwanis? Is this a stopgap for them? Because if you're in college, why would you not just join Circle K out of the gate?
Absolutely, Aaron. So it is designed because I don't know as though an 18-year-old would want to join my Kiwanis club. We have a great club. We have 20-year-olds in our club, and they are enjoying it, and we are accepting their changes. We are not the average Kiwanis club. The average Kiwanis club, you bring a younger member in, and the first thing, and we all say we don't do it, but the first thing you're going to have a member say is, oh, thank God we need younger members. We need you. We need your back. We need your truck. We need this. So it's one of the first things so many members say that it makes it difficult for that 18, 19, 20-year-old to do. It's also difficult because, as we know, when you graduate from high school, you graduated or college or whatever, Aaron, you graduated from Penn State Barron. Now, where are you? Where did you go? You're not staying in the same place. You have made these friends in high school. You have made these friends, and everybody's going in different directions. But say there's an internet club where you can all stay connected in this collaboration that you've always done in high school. Now you can do this versus on the internet. Again, I'm not in favor of this because I don't feel like it's planned out enough. And my biggest concern of this whole, and I know that wasn't one of the questions, my biggest concern of this entire program is how financially sustainable is it? I realize it's an investment for our future, but at the same time, we raised our dues, and now we're giving them this $40 when we know the cost for a new member between the liability and everything else, our costs are higher than $40. So that's my answer. Again, it's somewhat evasive, but I can only tell you what I know.
Well, I think you answered Armando's parts very well. On a lighter note, just take issue with them using the word voices in it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I did not get the memo to approve that. I'm just going to say that as a matter of record. Okay. I'm just going to say that as a matter of record.
Yeah, but we want to be a little low key because I think that we don't have a copyright on some titles that we have behind our heads. And so I appreciate it. And so you can see Armando said, thank you. He agrees with you. And I am so glad that we're getting questions like that. That's why we're doing this show. And it's like, we need to have those kinds of conversations. And clearly, Kathy, one of the things that I see an international VP needing to really focus in on that's different from a governor, it's different from even a trustee sometimes, is really focusing in on financial viability. When we look at the fact that we are raising dues and it is locking out some of our international members from being able to participate, there has to be that consciousness on finances. So I appreciate your opinion. And someone else may say something completely different.
Absolutely.
But one of the questions that's come up over and over again is that they're talking about remote voting. And this is is this the fourth time or fifth time we brought up remote voting? And so you would probably be the first, if, when elected, you'd be the first first president that would need to be dealing with remote voting at a convention. How do you see the issues that we're dealing with? How would you express those issues that we're dealing with? And what do you believe in? What is your stance? I get to ask all the hard questions.
Y'all are helping me lose votes, that's for sure.
No, I'm not.
I know. No, and I really am kidding because I am a very transparent person.
Mm-hmm.
So I am for remote voting. I can tell you I was for remote voting previously, and knowing that if it passed, there was a huge opportunity for me not to win the election because of the remote voting. I'd like to put that out there. I believe we're seeing it on Facebook. We have members out there that cannot come and voice their opinion and be part of our international convention because of visas. We have members out there who are like, boy, can somebody send me money? I really want my voice to be heard. We can't do that. So 2,000 people are making the decision for a worldwide organization when there's so many other members. We're thrilled to have the members from Asia Pacific, Nepal, Europe, and so many of them are unable to come to our convention. So I think now is the time. We have to make this happen. And if it does pass, how will I work with it? This is where it works great for me. I have a technology background. My degree's in technology. I run a technology company. So I know, and I have the people to go out there and ask, work with Kiwanis International. What is the best platform? I understand what the fees are somewhat. Let's face it, by next year, they're going to be more, and the following year, even more. But what can we do? How do we go about making this go from point A to point B? And I understand we're going to have less people. The Valeries are not going to be able to connect, maybe. But then again, the Valerie and Kathys, we're still going to go to international convention. Mm-hmm. The Roys, the Susans, the Marys, they're all still going to go to international convention. It's these other people who are younger members. They may think twice, because if they can do remote voting, why would they go to Kiwanis International? So
there are companies out there way bigger than Kiwanis International. There are organizations out there way bigger than KI around the globe that do remote meetings and conversations and board meetings. As a matter of fact, while I'm in Pittsburgh, my temple, which I was just voted to be a board member of, is having a board meeting on Thursday night, and they happen to be doing it. They're making it available for Zoom for those. Now, my temple is not Kiwanis International, but just like this show, Kathy, if it wasn't for the ability to do remote shows like this, you would not be able to join us for the KI World to hear your voice.
I would drive to you.
Well, now we're in close proximity. We're in closer proximity now. As long as it's a Steve Nagel free zone, you can come anytime you want. Love you, Steve. I know he's going to be tuning in soon for jokes. But anyway, so I think the progression naturally for KI is to go this route. And I know exactly who and what you're referring to on the Facebook post, because I responded to that individual as well. I think it's only natural. The people who will still want to go see face-to-face, to see friends and acquaintances, or go to these other international locations where people may have never had the opportunity, will still go no matter what. I think it's just a natural progression of technology to get as many people involved, because like you said, 2,000 people to voice the concern for our tens of thousands of members around the world is absolutely absurd, in my opinion. So I think it's just a natural progression, whether people out there like it or not. And I would dare say those who don't like it are probably the ones that are not tech savvy and are afraid of it.
Mm-hmm. There's a cost. It's going to cost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But let's use this term. It's an investment.
Right.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. And Tim McDonald asked about, he said he was getting ready to ask you the very question about visas. And I'm one of those futurists. And so I'm always looking not, at the chess play that's right now, but 2 moves down the line. And I don't have to look very far to look at Manila and know that we may only have 2,000 people attending here. But how many people from North America will actually be going to the Philippines next year? And there's going to be a lot of decisions that are made in Manila. And you're going to feel like, that's just too far away. But the reality is, for most of our members who are outside of the continental North American area, they're always coming to us. and it's the same flight. You know, somebody used to tell me the same road leads to your house that leads to mine. And so if I come to visit you, hopefully you'll come to visit me. And so I think that this is absolutely an important part of our organization, especially if we want to grow. We want to grow it internationally and nationally. We've got to have the components that are there. We've got to move into this millennial, because all the other organizations, they're allowing for it.
I want to ask this question, and then we're going to take our second break of the show already, believe it or not.
Wow.
Is there any concern, though, with remote voting that because of different sizes of districts, okay, that could remote voting give more power to one district over another? Do you understand what I'm saying? Could there be a shift in power? Is that, I mean, that's a viable concern about this, I'm sure, right?
So as I mentioned earlier, if there was remote voting in place this year, one of my opponent's districts is huge. It's huge versus Pennsylvania district. Is there concern? This is where you just got to work harder and smarter. So the biggest concern, I know you want to go on break, but the biggest concern in my mind is how we go about making this happen. There are several countries where maybe only the hotel has the internet, so your members have to travel there. So there's going to be a time delay on getting the votes. That's probably my biggest concern.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, though? If the right process is set up, you figure out a way to allow for that. And we'll get to that in a little bit. I want to step aside for a second break because we have really little time left, but a lot still to talk about with Kathy. We have wow moments, we have mental health moment, and of course, Father's Day themed bad dad jokes. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. Stay in there, everybody. Keep putting your questions out there. We'll get Kathy to answer them. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster, but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
Kids need Kiwanis, and Kiwanis needs you. The Kiwanis Club of Santa Rosa has been improving the quality of life for kids and families in the Sonoma County for about 100 years. How? By addressing the needs of children in their own community and region. The Kiwanis Club of Santa Rosa does book giveaways for K-5 grade schools that support reading as fundamental. Students in each grade get to select a book and build their own private library. Community outreach included building the K-Land Old West in a family park right in the city of Santa Rosa. Students also get a great opportunity to learn important leadership skills by being a part of the Kiwanis-sponsored youth program called Key Club. Of course, many of the programs that are provided cost money. The club's famous pancake-making machine can be found at Father's Day breakfasts, graduations, the Santa Rosa Marathon, and more to support their fundraising efforts. They also volunteer at the Redwood Empire Food Bank by sorting donations, weighing carrots, packed food boxes, and even hosted food collection drives to help their fellow families and neighbors in need. What can you do to help? Join our Kiwanis Club and enjoy fellowship with other like-minded people from our community who wish to make a difference in a child's life and the child's family. For more information, visit our website at kiwanisofsantarosa.org or on the Kiwanis Club of Santa Rosa on Facebook. You can email us at santarosacakiwanis@gmail.com. Come be a part of the Kiwanis Club of Santa Rosa as we help build strong communities, one child at a time.
Well, if only that voiceover guy could get a real-time job, he might have a shot at this gig. Welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Kathy Tuddy's in the chat room. Hi, Kathy. Douglas is in there. Everybody's doing well out there. There is Douglas sent in a question that John just put up on the screen right before we went to break. Do we have a fee to attend remotely and to vote? If that's passed.
If it's passed, I would certainly hope that there would be a fee to join remotely. But again, it's not passed, so
Who knows?
That's a tough question. But I
But
do know.
we do have a precedent, right?
Pardon?
We do have a precedent, though, for attending virtual.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. On
Mhm.
Saturday for the business session, it will be virtual. But you can't vote, but you can watch everything virtually.
That's cool. All right. It's a start. It's a step. It's a process. All right, Doc Val, go ahead. Take a question or two there.
Well, I am looking at, we've had a lot of tough questions, but Kathy, one of the ones that
I've been weaving around the question.
I know it's like, but one of the things is that when you talked about that aha moment, but what is it that you really would love to accomplish? Because as a vice president, it's not a 1-year commitment. It's actually almost a 5-year process of being able to help move the needle in Kiwanis. So what do you hope to bring to the table? Because I know you as an amazing person. So please share.
Sure. I'm obviously going to bring my energy. I have a lot of energy and a lot of vision, per se, of what I can do. I want to strengthen Kiwanis, whether it's opening new clubs, but I also want to focus on our existing clubs. If we don't keep those existing clubs around, our communities are going to lose their service leadership programs. They're going to lose their annual parades, which mean a lot to the community. They're going to lose their volunteers at the senior centers or the animal shelters or whatever it is. So when I'm talking about strengthening, I'm also talking about, the new clubs, but as well as retaining. What can we do? And I'm going to work with the team at Kiwanis International, as well as a group of people like Val and all these others that I've known through the formula, or I don't know, were you part of Together Achieving Growth, the tag team, Val?
That was just before me.
Yeah, okay. So I was part of that. So all of this, that we all have this knowledge, and it's changed over the years, but what can we do to keep that member in the club? I also want to bring more focus to our young children priority 1. I feel like we've somewhat staggered and moved a little bit away from that. I would like to bring that back. Literacy for our young babies is so vital for the future of our world. So I'd like to see us bring more focus back on that. And then, of course, our sponsored service leadership programs. I really want to strengthen them and figure out what we need to do to make them sustainable and keep growing in other countries.
John just pushed the button that I was just going to mention from our good friend Kathy Tutty. As we all know, the board may vote for something that you don't agree with. Oh, imagine that. How will you support the work of the board for something you may not agree with?
And I appreciate that question. Today, it's easy for me to say that I might not be a fan of remote voting. Had I been a board member, I would be able to debate you and explain why I think the board supporting the decision that remote voting is bad. I would debate you and tell you this is why it is good. Because once the board has voted on something, you nip it, whether you liked it or not. You walk away from that board meeting best friends, and you support what was ever decided. Conversation stops there. I know that was rather direct, but that's the way it is. It has to be.
Absolutely.
Staying open-minded to both sides of a discussion. So that's really the only way to be successful. Go ahead, Val.
I'm looking at Kiwanis 5 years in the future, and when you are done with the immediate past president, what do you hope will be the status of Kiwanis? If you could say do you have concrete goals as to where are things that you said, I had a darn good, amazing international president career?
I'm glad you said Kiwanis. Yes, because we'd be here all day if I told you what I plan for the next 5 years.
I would agree. Be great.
So
I'd
one
just
of
be
the
happy to
things,
plan the next 5 minutes. I don't know about 5 years, but I'm happy for 5 minutes.
like a smaller face, and but anyway, so 5 years from now, I mean, the obvious one is stronger Kiwanis clubs. More Kiwanis clubs, but stronger Kiwanis clubs. I want to figure out a way that our members stay in Kiwanis. There's obvious reasons they leave, but how do we have a plan where Kiwanians find the value and make the impact? I think it's huge. And how do we go about doing that? And once we figure that out, and within the next 5 years, there are so many resources that we need to be doing and form. Again, once I'm all about forming a team of people that are smarter than me.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they bring their ideas, we go with them. What can we do? Because when we have stronger Kiwanis clubs, we have stronger service leadership programs. We're now working with kids more. We're working with our elderly. There is so much more. And let's face it, the branding of Kiwanis, when we have more Kiwanians who are leaving their meetings, they are leaving service projects so happy with a skip in their step. That's the branding of Kiwanis that we want. So in 5 years from now, stronger members, stronger branding, stronger kids.
Stronger branding starts on Kiwanis Connects, but I'm just saying. Anyway, I just put a question in the chat room. I'm sitting here and I'm wearing my Chesapeake Kiwanis Club shirt today, just as it worked out. But my wife and I are going to be delegates next at the convention, and I have a wonderful opportunity, sitting bird's eye with our previous candidates of trustees the last couple of weeks, and to hear them. Kathy, of course, hearing you today, and next week we'll announce who our guest is. I have this bird's eye view of listening to the candidates that a lot of delegates out there don't have this luxury, although they could when they go back and watch the show again. Anyway, so I'm just curious. Right. I just put in the chat room how many people watching right now are also delegates. I'm curious to know how these guests the last couple of weeks, by the way, the views on the shows, no pressure, Kathy, but each of our previous guests running for other offices are well over 80,000 for their week that they went. So, bar's high for you this week. So I just wanted to acknowledge that I have an interesting position. Val, I don't know if you're a delegate or not. I'm going to presume.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
With the 1,200 clubs you represent, I'm sure at least one of them has you snagged. So anyway, I just find that interesting that we have that position. Okay, I don't want to cut Kathy off. I'm going to leave time on the back end before bad dad jokes. But before we go on to our last couple of things, Kathy, I know you're armed with a couple of bad dad jokes. So give us one before we go to one of our other segments.
Absolutely.
Hi, Margot.
You ready?
Yep, go ahead.
Why did the AI get spooked on Friday the 13th?
Why did I have no idea.
It thought its code was haunted by a bug from the future.
Pretty good.
John asked a very good question that I hope one of you can quickly answer. John actually put this in there. How can we get support from the community even if they don't become members? Interesting perspective there.
Do you want to answer it, Val, or do you like me?
Oh, no, please.
So in the video, you saw the Kiwanis Caring Kitchen, and that was my Kiwanis Club. Yes, financially, we supported it. Voluntarily, we somewhat have time to do it, but we created this community where the community wants to help out. Again, it comes back to, and you're going to like this, Aaron, it's all about the branding. We have this, we get it, we need volunteers. How can you help us? So putting out the need, as well as don't be forceful when those people are there. Oh my God, you're volunteering. You got to join my club. My club does this. No, let them volunteer. Let them see the fun you're having. Once the community is involved, then perhaps, you can invite them. But the main important thing is if you need volunteers, get the community involved. Why not? Right on.
I think it's a good thing. Thank you, Kathy Tuddy. You're the first one to actually respond the way I asked. I said, about my question about being a delegate. I said, if you're a delegate at KI, signify with an I. And, you know, and I've got an I will, I am, and then Kathy just put back in there I. So very good. Okay, gotcha, John. All right. So let us keep moving along. If you would, Val, would you like to do wow or Melissa Atwell first?
I would love to look at our mental health moment with Melissa Atwell.
All right, there you go, John. Let's roll it. Melissa Atwell, mental.
Hi, I'm Melissa Atwell, founder and CEO of the Mental Health Moment. And I want to talk to you today about that little voice in your head. We all have it. I know you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes that voice can be very negative. And sometimes, just as human beings, we listen to that voice. We sit and we fester in the negativity. We worry, we overthink, and we start telling ourselves stories in our head that maybe necessarily aren't true facts or have evidence. So what I want the awareness to be for you is to remember that when you do go down that path in your head, a negative path, know that you have a choice to shift your mindset and to steer into a different direction so that moving forward, when this does happen again, you'll be aware and you'll know how to take action. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Thank you, Melissa. Well said. Well said. Always some inspiring stuff there. You can check her out online, mentalhealthmoment.org. Great resource. She's terrific at what she does. All right, with that, we're going to change gears. It's now time for Val's Kiwanis Wows.
I just love my happy dance moment. So we had the Dolly Parton Imagination Library in as one of our members, and so one of our shows. And I was so wowed that I ended up committing our Kiwanis clubs here in the Monterey County to being the leaders of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library project in Monterey. And I kept thinking, oh, it's going to take us a while, but I have to show off. My first starter set of books have already been in the mail. They are true blue into making sure this project happens. And so the books are such an amazing quality. They're bilingual. And it's not bilingual, in little tiny print, the other languages there. It is equal time. And so like this one is baby talk, and it's also habla bebé. And so, and every page in this book is the same fonts, same size, both languages. That to me is a wow. And I know that there are Kiwanis clubs across the world, and most I think we're mostly in North America, but they have 5 other countries. But getting involved in this, because literacy is something that once you read for pleasure, it can never be taken away from you. It's something that whether you have shelter, whether you have food or whatever, if you can read, you can be healthy, you can be prosperous, and you can own your own destiny. And so, I was always a Dolly Parton fan, but now I just want to call her auntie. So that's my moment.
Right on. I always give you 2 reasons why I like Dolly Parton growing up, but that's a whole nother show. Okay, Kathy, give us before we start winding down, and we only have a couple of minutes left. I'd like to give you 2 minutes to talk about why you should become Kiwanis International Vice President. And then when you're done with that, give us another 1 or 2 of your bad dad jokes leading into the final bad dad jokes. The floor is yours.
Is that fair? I have to ask or try to give you 2 minutes of why you should vote for me and then give a bad dad joke?
You can sandwich it any way you want to. I trust you. This is going to show your talent of being able to multitask.
So the reason I feel I am qualified to be Kiwanis International Vice President is I have a strong vision. I have the energy to get us where we need to be. And my energy just isn't here today. It stays with me. I believe in Kiwanis. I believe in our service leadership programs. I believe that we can make the bigger impact that we need to be making. I don't think we're doing enough. And by we, that means me, that means all of you. I feel like there's more that can be done. Kiwanis International needs to be here tomorrow. in 5 years, 10 years, 15 minutes. I believe with my background as a business owner, I can work through whatever challenges are there and make it happen. So I guess, what do you call an AI that tells awful jokes?
Aaron Phillips?
A giggle bite.
A giggle bite. I love it. I love it. Good. You got another one?
What's AI's worst nightmare on Friday the 13th?
I don't know.
A black cat crossing its server. I'm a technology person.
No, that's fine. That's totally fine. Special shout out to Herman Platsky, just joined us, by the way. I saw his post this week, Val. I don't know if you saw Herman, but apparently he became fan number 1,000 on the Kiwanis Connects show page, and he got that little announcement, and he shared it with everybody. So thank you, Herman.
Thank you, Herman.
Always appreciate it. All right, you got one more, or are you done with your AI jokes?
Well, this isn't an AI one, but I can tell you it. Okay. So why was the monitor embarrassed? Computer monitor. It overheard the CPU talking about its refreshing new look.
Okay. That was good.
Give her the hook. Okay. She's hooked.
So David gave me these jokes. So when he's making fun of your jokes, keep that in mind.
All right. That means he has just as bad taste for mine as he does yours. That's okay. All right. With that, everybody, it's time for now your Father's Day themed bad dad jokes. Hit it, John. Although I did say I don't have any for Friday the 13th, I have to admit I have one. When I started the search yesterday, one out of a million that came up. I'm going to start with that one. Then I'm going to go to Father's Day. So here you go. Here's your one and only Friday the 13th joke. Why should you never go out on a date on Friday the 13th? Because everyone knows it's the one day of the year where you won't be lucky.
Oh my.
I don't have to explain that one, do I?
No,
Okay,
I got it. I'm slow, but not that slow.
No, that's okay. I'm glad John ran the laughter a little bit longer than normal so everybody gets that one. It's an innuendo. All right, here you go. Here's some Father's Day jokes for you. Why did the dad cry while golfing on Father's Day? Why did the dad cry while playing golf on Father's Day? Thank you, Dennis. Why? Because he was going through a rough patch. Yeah, okay.
Nah.
All right, come on now. What did the grape say to his dad on Father's Day? What did the grape say to his dad on Father's Day?
Give me a squeeze.
Not bad, but no, he said, "Thanks for raising a good son, Dad." See, that was a little heartfelt there. That was good. All right. This one I can actually appreciate personally. Why did Dad high-five himself on Father's Day? Why did Dad high-five himself on Father's Day, you may ask? Because no one appreciates his joke quite like he does.
Andy liked that one.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, good. I thought I heard him laughing through the speaker. How does Darth Vader like his toast cooked on Father's Day? How does Darth Vader like his toast cooked on Father's Day? Why, of course, on the dark side. That's just
I knew the answer to that one.
Yeah, you're a little slow on the uptake there, John. That's all. What do you call a person who is not a dad who makes dad jokes?
A mom?
The voice.
No, but I am a dad.
He is a dad.
I am a dad, you huckleberry. What do you call a person who's not a dad who makes dad jokes? A faux pas. A faux pas. I know. Hey, I just write them. Remember that. That's all I say. What did the cheerleader bring her dad for breakfast on Father's Day? What did the cheerleader bring her dad for breakfast on Father's Day. Of course, she brought him Cheerios. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Yoda.
Yoda who?
Yoda best, Dad. Happy Father's Day. Feel free to use these on Sunday, everybody. It's okay.
Yes, feel free.
Why did the dad get kicked out of the bakery?
Hmm.
Why did the dad get kicked out of the bakery? He kept telling crummy jokes.
Oh, even Kathy Teddy said no.
Oh, that one.
At least
Okay.
she's not saying pull the hook on him.
That's true. That is very true. But I am the host. I have to come back every week, Kathy. You see, that's the problem here. What kind of test? This is really good. This is really good. What kind of test is just for dads? What kind of test is just for dads? And it's not a shotgun test to kill the boyfriend. Let me just tell you that. The kind of test that's good for dads, it's a pop quiz. Two more, thankfully. Why did the bald dad, did you just get the last joke, Val? Is that why you were covering up?
No.
Okay. Why did the bald dad use his credit card at the wig shop? Why did the bald dad use his credit card at the wig shop? To pay, of course.
Okay, this is the last one coming up, right?
Yes, it is. Where do you learn to make a banana split? Where do you learn to make a banana split? At Sunday school. With that, everybody, that does it for bad dad jokes. Some of them, and most of them were Father's Day. Those last couple, I only highlighted about 12 of them. I got more on the sheet if you want me to keep going.
No, it was so lovely. Yeah.
Okay, there you have it. My Father's Day joke gift to everybody is I'm done with Father's Day jokes for today. There you have it. Okay, I don't know where my garbage can is in my studio. Okay, Kathy, as always, thank you so much for coming on. Love you very much. We appreciate it. Doc Val, final thoughts and maybe a heads up on next week's show. It's our go-home show before KI.
That's true. So I am so thrilled that we get this time together. It is an honor and a privilege to have our leaders come and speak with us and show their true heart and their true spirit. That's what I love about our organization. That's what I love about you, Kathy. I appreciate you beyond measure. Thank you for helping us kick this off. I think you're making it a little bit easier for people to follow because you took the hits first. And so I want to say thank you. And I want to say to Gary Jander, you got a little bit of a bar to reach with your bad dad jokes and your answers because Gary Jander, our VP candidate, will be here on the show next week. And I just know, Kathy, that you are amazing and spectacular. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day to all the amazing men out there that have been such great examples. I'm sorry. I'm just like making this go on and on forever. It's just like this is the highlight of my week. So
John just has to get to the studio for a show. That's okay. Kathy, I do have one favor to ask of you. I need a new piece of Penn State swag when I see you in 2 weeks.
This Ohio State fan who works on Penn State campus.
Well, that's a you problem.
I just met with the chancellor before I was on here. Why do you ask now?
Well, I didn't know who you were. You just said you had a meeting. That's all you said.
I got you, Aaron.
All right. Love you, kiddo. All right, everybody. Listen, looking forward to Gary next week. This is what's great. We get to have everybody here that needs to share their message. And so this way, no one can say we are biased, we are this, we are that. We are an equal opportunity provider, as Don Rickles would say. Thank you for joining us. Happy Father's Day to everybody. We appreciate it. And as always, be kind to everybody. Why? We are all we have. Join me tomorrow on Aaron's Hour at 11 o'clock. Little Norfolk Theater will be on with us talking about their season of shows here in Norfolk. So come on back tomorrow and check it out. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Kiwanis Connects. Ding, ding. We are out.
Bye, everyone.
All right, you're clear.